Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea with Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. It's a great day, and you know why it's a great day? Because I'm joined by one of my best friends in comedy, Mr. Micky Bartlett. Micky is a guy that has played probably every major stand-up festival in Ireland, in the UK, in Australia, and the big guy just kills it wherever he goes. He loves a gin and tonic. He loves to play with his nunchucks that he actually has bought himself. He's got a tattoo of the Karate Kid, which is cool. And now all of a sudden he's big into basketball like myself because we're just big bandwagon jumpers. So I got to chat to him about Michael Jordan Save the Last Dance, and I should have closed the windows before I did the pod, but I haven't, and that's just something that we're going to deal with, guys. It's something we're gonna work with, and it's going to be fine because Mummy is not standing up to close the windows. Absolutely not. I've got my tea here. I've got my wee Daddy Elf mug, which is so cute, so cute. And it's a good day. It's a good day all around. Micky and I started doing stand up about 13 years ago. I think Micky started about a year before me, and Micky was the first guy I watched do stand up that was about my age, and I said, "Oh no, he's so good." And Micky has just always been that. He's always been the funniest guy, both on and off stage. We've done a couple of Edinburgh Fringe festivals together. We did a sketch show back in the day for BBC as well called LOL, which you didn't watch, so cheers for that. But 7 people did, and one of them said, "Do you know what? It's actually not that bad. It's fine." I'm gonna text Micky because I don't know if he's got my Zoom thing ready when you are, big shooter. He'll enjoy that. So yeah, we've got Mick coming on for this episode. Before he comes on, let me just plug the Patreon, which is patreon.com/teawithmepodcast, where you can get the bonus episode every Friday with me and every Monday with me and producer Dan. And also there is cool merch stuff there. You get a sticker whenever we get those sorted, whenever you join, and there's gig news and all that kind of thing. Oh my God, Micky Bartlett is in the house, and by house I mean he's in the Zoom. Here he is. Oh my. Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Micky Bartlett with a glazed
What's
expression.
the
You look very glazed.
I've got a wee bit of a sweat on because my nephew's here, and I've just been bouncing about for a wee minute, and I'm all. Oh,
Are you getting your
moist.
nephew confused with a basketball?
Yeah, slurring it.
So Mick, welcome to the pod. You very kindly did the Patreon for me recently. You've got your Love Island water bottle, which is always great to see. And
Wait, you only get one. You only get one Earth. You know what I mean?
oh no, hold on, wait, I plugged this into the wrong thing. Shit, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I had a bit of a technical boo-boo there, but it's all fine. So,
It's all good.
so Mick, thanks for coming to do the pod. A lot that I wanna chat to you about, but we've done, like, I feel like you and I have done one Zoom recently, and then we did an interview as well. And I feel like you're the second person I've spoken to most in lockdown after my wife for some reason.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that one.
It's not a bad thing. You're sitting in what looks like some sort of really nice studio. I don't know what you've done with your lighting,
And
but it looks
this
great.
is the thing, because I was always using like the spur in my parents' house to do the Zoom stuff because it's the furthest away from noise,
Yeah.
but the lighting's awful.
Right.
So I'm currently in my bedroom, and this is the only clean bit.
Yeah. Can you?
It's
I mean, if you turn the camera around, I feel like you'd be going to McGabry.
it's disgusting. Like, do you know whenever you're like you go right, you get halfway through a big clean out, you're like, right, that's it, I'm getting rid of all this stuff,
Yes.
and then halfway through you go, oh, fuck it.
It's so much
I'm
admin
kind of
to
in that
throw it
situation
out.
right now in my bedroom.
Yeah. So you're back. You talked about this a lot
It's
recently. You're living with the folks. What's it like living with your folks in lockdown at the age of 30? What are you, 33?
33. It's and I can't stress this enough. Fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, can you name me like one good thing and one bad thing about living with your parents at 33 during lockdown? What? Like, surely there must be one benefit to it.
One good thing is you don't have to empty the washing machine yourself.
I mean, I
Like
feel like
that's
Do you do chores? I can see you not doing
Yeah,
chores.
like I'll do plenty of stuff. Like I'll cook and all that sort of stuff. But even whenever I lived like on my own,
Couldn't do a
the idea of
dishwasher.
emptying a washing machine was just like dishwasher. I love emptying a dishwasher. To be honest with you, filling a dishwasher, I'm not that mad about. But
Right,
emptying one, great crack.
right. Here's the
But
thing.
emptying a washing machine, I'm just like that's my fucking pet peeve.
I love emptying a washing machine, but I hate a part like there's nothing else I hate more than emptying a dishwasher. Love putting the stuff in, hate taking it out.
I say I love taking it. It's putting it in because I feel all icky putting it in because you're like, oh, I know there's going to be like a spoon here with yogurt on it. It's going to hit my hand.
Yeah, Mick, that's what it
You know,
is.
something like that. sorry, a fork with yogurt.
I went to yeah, in Hollywood we ate our yogurt with a knife and fork.
In Hollywood, you have somebody give it to you. Here you are, Master Shane. More yogurt. You're like, no, no.
I went to school with a guy who. Do you ever like tell mates something and then they act so weird, so you pretend like you were lying about what you said, even though everybody knows you said it? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah.
So there's a guy who went to school with. Just the idea of yogurt being on a spoon reminds me of this. Some guy was basically said that he'd in school he'd come into a spoon. He was in his bedroom by himself and eating it just to see what the taste would be like. And then when everybody went, "What are you doing, you weird guy?" He was like, "Oh no, I didn't do that, but it was way too specific and he has done it. And now anytime I see him or speak to him, in the back of my head, that's all I think of."
I straight away went into what sort of anatomy does he have to get like a spoonful of cum?
Yeah.
I don't know about yourself. I'm not trying to make myself to be a top shagger, but if I was to get a spoonful of jizz, I'd be like,
Spoonful of jizz on this metal spoon.
yeah. I look like I'm exercising a house.
Oh no. I mean, we've got onto that subject very, very quickly. But
I
yeah,
know. I've always got some on my lip by accident.
of your own?
Yeah, clearly.
Or you pulled out too quickly and the guy was
Yeah. The guy was like, I wasn't finished. And I was like, no, give me some. I was like, give me that spoon.
rubbing it in your gums.
I saw this in a movie once. That's what you do.
I mean, there was nothing funnier to me still to this day, whenever you say to a friend, like, "Here, do you remember your first blowjob?" And when they say, "Yeah," you say, "What did it taste like?"
What is that?
Nothing funnier, like nothing funnier than that.
I also love it. What was his name?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you dropped your gay card was always fun as well.
That was
always
a belter.
fun.
Yeah.
Might actually start bringing that one back.
Who was it had the bit? Was it Carl Donnelly had that bit? Where he's like, a kid's like, you dropped your gay card, and he's like, and he picks it up and he goes, wait, this is my gay card. It's like, it's your gay card or something. It's like,
it's the way he tells it.
Very, very funny. Yeah, it's one of them ones, yeah.
You've done some, I want to ask you about, you've done some stand-up gigs on Zoom, which is something that I haven't done yet. Are those getting easier, or what are they like?
So I think I've done 3 of them now. And yeah, it's like anything, you learn how to, I've almost got a Zoom set.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You mess about with the backgrounds.
Oh. Yeah. You do think that you try and poke somebody in a different camera. Like, yeah, I've done a few of them, but it's one of those things where people go, right, do 20, and you go, right, I'm doing 8.
Yes.
And they're fine. Like, it's not like in a club where people go, you were supposed to do 20, you're not getting paid, or you did 23, you've ruined the whole night. But it's just not the same. It's not as much fun.
I'm chatting to somebody at the minute about doing like a corporate thing over Zoom, and the original time frame was, would you be up for doing an hour?
That's crazy. You wouldn't do an hour live at a corporate thing.
No, God, no.
You know what I mean? Because an hour, that's the waterfront. That's the Ulster Hall. That's like,
yeah. I mean, I honestly think, like, you did the live Patreon podcast. I was nervous doing that, so I don't know what it's going to be like going back to stand up, like actual stand up. Although I really hope we can do like a drive-in cinema type thing soon, because it's happening.
I'm wondering, like, what's the rules on like, because if they're opening pubs and stuff on the 3rd, what's the rules on doing stand up in bars?
Good call. I don't know, but I would literally be up for doing anything. Doing anything.
Yeah,
You know, just a short
because
set.
I
And
think there's definitely scope in like being able to, I know, in libraries go social distance, you know, maximum 50 people kind of thing. Because
yeah,
I've got a new joke that I'm like fucking dying to do live.
is it a real like? Are you telling a story? Or my big fear whenever I
No,
have a bit is the first time you do it when you're so excited about it is the best bit time because you're so excited, and then you can just never really recreate that time you told it.
yeah, that happens quite a bit. I've had that happen a few times with like, I think sometimes the energy, the first time you do a bit, you'll laugh at it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then sometimes that ends up carrying the joke through, and you're like, "Oh fuck, that's not a real." I wanted like the material to shine through. Um, I've got this bit at the minute about like a ritual I have when I'm flying, where I'm not afraid of flying purely because I accept death,
right.
and I've got this playlist that I listen to. So in case like an air crash investigator finds me and takes the headphones off, he'd be like, "Wow, what a badass!"
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that reminds me of whenever we did Latin in school, and you can tell I went to a good school because we did Latin, and
You did Latin. I went to a
we did
Catholic
Latin.
school. We didn't do Latin.
I went to Latin. The only word I remember is Kerberos. You want to take a guess what that might be?
No, I've no idea.
It's a dog. Um,
That's a real
and
long name for a dog.
Kerberos, yeah. We the only thing I remember is learning about Pompeii whenever the volcano came down, the ash came down, and everyone stayed like preserved for ages the way they were, and
Yeah.
that kind of like you were saying like always got me thinking of like it would be so shit if you didn't know what was coming and you were in a really like vulnerable position.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were taking a shit and reading a wee magazine,
Aye.
like I
Yeah.
mean,
If you found like an ingrown hair in your inner thigh, and you're like,
yeah, because if you knew it was coming, if someone's like, "Here, we're all going to die and be preserved the way they are," you would immediately just
aye.
get under a bench press. Oh
Yeah,
fuck, they got me.
yeah. Just stand there doing that the volcano. But is there not a guy? Is there not one of the sort of things in Pompeii? Because they're still preserved, aren't they? Or is it done like models, or what's the correct? Because
I don't know.
I'm sure I've seen a photo of a guy who looks like he's having a
Shit.
like, because he's having a wank. He's clearly going the other way, where he's like, well, I'm going out the way. He's like,
There's de-
have me that spoon quick.
Oh, it's gone on the floor. The Kerberos will eat it. oh, we need to
That's
get back to
fantastic.
stand up. Oh wow. um, yeah, I mean it is funny to think there is a guy preserved in ancient Pompeii with his dick in between his legs. Like
Yeah.
statistically somebody would have been doing that at that point. Did you
Well,
ever
I
go
think
through?
most people's dicks are between their legs, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, true.
If his dick was on his hip, you'd be like, oh, what happened to him?
Were you into? I was gonna say, were you into anything weird whenever you were a kid? Did you ever like? I don't know. Did you ever like? I could see you as like the odd time. I think like, have you ever tried on your mom's clothes?
uh, I
For
don't
sure.
think so. Unless like, yeah, probably I probably have put a dress on because mom and dad have been all going for that dress. It'll be dead funny. I'm like, obviously at 33, I haven't changed, so I'm just desperate for attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, put your mother's dress on. Will you tell me you love me? Just tell me you're proud of me. Tell me you're proud of me.
Well, were you a performer back in the day? Like whenever you were a kid, when family were over, were you like doing things? And what was your thing? Mine was always accents.
I would have done accents and impressions and stuff when I was a kid. Like I remember my dad used to make me like
Oh,
phone me auntie and pretend to be Chris Tarrant from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I couldn't. It was never a good impression. But he'd be like phone your auntie and fucking because she tried to get on it, phone her and let on.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I think there was a night where somebody was like my cousin's friend was actually on it,
Right.
and he was lined up to be his phone a friend, and my dad was like fucking ring him, like,
That's good.
but straight away he's like, Mick, fuck off. I actually have this is important.
It's
Like,
just your voice. Hey, Chris Tarrant here.
yeah,
Ooh.
it was just me. But yeah, every so often do that.
Like, if you phoned me and just did that, I'd say, Chris, what's happening?
What's going on?
Yeah, I remember whenever I was really young, singing the Only Fools and Horses theme tune. Like whenever I was like 4 or 5, that was a party piece. And then yeah, just accents and impressions of people. But like you say, they were bad impressions. But I think if you see a kid really trying to like perform, make people laugh, it's already funny.
Yeah, totally. Because I think I used to do like, I always try to do. Remember like the Michael Caine, like from what was it? Was it the Fast Show? Oh, I'm a lousy neighbour, like that
Man,
one.
I miss, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got number 44.
Yeah.
Like I still can't do it.
What I'm worried about,
like that. When it was 2, I couldn't even talk.
I'm worried about having a kid, and whenever family are over, the kid is like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell some jokes," and everyone's laughing like, "Isn't that cute?" And I go, "Well, you know," and then I get up and do a set, and I'm like, "Well, that sells out the waterfront," you know.
Aye, you're at the back of the room going, "That's not his."
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking stole it.
Yeah. I mean, those sort of like performing, like I would always have wanted to perform and done stuff, but then I would have done way too much, and then kind of got told off for maybe like, okay, wrap it up. I think everyone's tired of that, and that kind of the same with stand up.
Man, there was a time where I won a fucking. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I won a talent competition, right, in Santa Ponsa, right, when I was 9.
Please tell me this didn't involve a ping pong ball.
Nah, I danced, like, tried to dance like Michael Jackson to Blood on the Dance Floor, right? And won, right? My sister came second. She'd been doing Irish dancing since she was fucking 2, right? She came second. We were the only 2 in it. And I'm pretty sure they were like, just let the fat fella win. That was my first tiptoe into show business. I was like, I think I've got this.
You were 19.
Yeah, I've got raw talent.
In 2012.
Yeah, I actually did it for my final piece in uni.
Yeah, that's fun. I remember, like, I never would have done anything like that. Like, I could do stuff in front of friends and family, but like talent shows, even school plays and stuff, I would never have had the confidence to do like even audition
Weirdly,
for a school play.
I was to say, I think like they made me do like the Nativity in P3 or something, and then between then and fucking like at the age of 18, I was like, I'm not doing it. That's nah.
Yeah. But do you wish? Because it's a huge regret of mine that although I'm doing this kind of thing now, so maybe if I was doing it then, I wouldn't have been doing it now. But it's a huge regret that I didn't get involved with like drama and stuff whenever I was at school, because I knew I would have loved it, and I didn't do it despite myself. I was like, oh, my mates are going to think, my mates are going to call me gay. Essentially, was the
Well, like I like
thing.
the drama, like for A level, which is kind of, but I think that was because I wanted to do stand up. I knew like I wanted to when I was about 14.
Right.
But like I regret things like not paying attention to music and going fuck it, because now I'm 33 and go, I'd love to be able to play guitar.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel like I'm too old to actually fucking try and learn it now.
I know. Yeah, I mean, but then again, see if you had got in, maybe you wouldn't be doing stand up now.
I know, that's true.
Or that kind of thing. I went to a thing called speech play. My mum made me go to, which was I think I was maybe like eight or 9, maybe even younger, and it was like drama for kids, but it was like a Saturday morning type thing. And I went along, and I was like, maybe this will be okay. And one of the exercises you had to do was like the floor was lava kind of thing.
Yeah.
So everybody was standing on chairs, and I couldn't understand the improv element to it. I was too literal. People were like, "Oh, the floor's lava." I was like, "It's carpet." I was really not helpful at all. And we were standing in these chairs, and a boy had off his own back brought in a paper mache steak, and he went, "Well, if there's sharks, they can have this." Because they must have said last week we're going to do the floor's lava, and he had made a perfectly sculpted paper mache steak. And I hated that he had done that much that I made myself sick at the top of some stairs, and my mum had to come and pick me up. I was like, I can't deal with this intensity of another 9 or 10-year-old who's made his own paper mache
steak a week
to feed the fucking fake shark. I was like, fingers down the throat, Susan, come and get me.
I've had enough.
And I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. I mean,
I don't know what kind of fucking psycho were you that at 9 years of age you knew that would make you sick. I wouldn't have known that. Like I would have been at least going for I've got a sore tummy and then like produce no evidence, but you fucking fully went for it. Like they're not going to believe me unless there's DNA on the floor. So here we go.
When you said you had a sore tummy, I thought you meant instead of putting your fingers in your throat, you were going to shove up your arse. Mickey's been sick out of his bum.
Well, that's when you told me that story about you camping.
Oh, a guy called Paul.
That's maybe one of the fucking funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
That was, if I get this right, if this was, I was away camping with the Scouts last year, and whenever I was of Scout age, and this is so me, right? Everyone was doing like some sort of wee activity at night, like a campfire thing, but I just took half an hour to myself because my hay fever was really bad, and I was reading a Dawson's Creek book. It was like a book of the TV show. What?
I was like, I went straight to, was Dawson's Creek a novel?
No, no. So they would have brought.
So one of those ones are just like photos of Joshua Jackson, like by a lake and all.
1000%. I said
More different cardigans.
I said he'll never love me, and I put my fingers down my throat. Piercy.
Piercy.
Imagine being from here and in the mid-90s being called Piercy. You just would have been absolutely slobbered up for no reason.
No, Piercy would be. I'd be a very quick orange man. He loves walking, that boy. The pace on him.
Do you know? I'll come back to that story in a second. I was at a Glentoran football match whenever I was about 10, 11, and there was a guy there with like my group of mates from school, and there was a sign for a company on one of the like advertising banners called Just in Casey. It was like a wee insurance company or something, and it was like a fake.
I remember Just in Casey.
Just in Casey, and the guy like burst out laughing. We were like 10. And he's like, Just in Casey. And nobody got it. And from then on, everyone called that guy Just in Casey for about a year and a half for no reason. But, okay, we were at Scout Camp this one time at Scout Camp. And I had taken some time because my eyes were streaming. And then I was reading Dawson's Creek and they were streaming even more.
I'm doubly wet.
No Kitty Holmes. And there was then everybody went to bed. And there was a guy called Paul who's like year below me in the, like say 10, like 3 or 4 down. And I just remember him in like when everyone had gone to sleep and there was a silence. Because here's the thing, when we were in Scouts, we were bitch boys. Like when you were told to go to bed at 9:30, everybody went to bed. Like everybody was really well behaved.
Right.
And he poked his head out of his tent and shouted for the leader and said, help. And when someone's like, what's wrong or whatever, he goes, I've been sick out of my bottom. And it was just a great time. It was a great time.
So you just had full diarrhea in a tent?
Full diarrhea in his tent, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
That was good fun.
See, we like, I didn't even make it in the Scouts. I think I was like, is it
failed the
and then
audition?
Cubs and then... Yeah. I wasn't hot enough. But I think whenever we were in the... Yeah, because it was Cubs and then you'd Scouts.
Yeah.
And we went on a trip. They wouldn't even let like 12 wee reprobates from Lurgan go camping. So they just like bunged us all into a caravan for 2 days. In Ballycastle. Just sitting looking out the window in the rain. We get the knife anytime soon? No.
What are we going to do to pass our time? You boom, 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 boom. Just moonwalking your way up and down a caravan park in Ballywalker.
Fucking awful, man.
Yeah, Scouts was definitely weird. It was like a weird thing, and I didn't buy into the whole saluting people. You know, you had to give like a peace like salute, or you had to. I was weird with things like that. I didn't know why we were doing that. Like the guy with the paper mache steak. Just get rid of all that part of it and just like go and learn how to fucking tie knots and read Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, that stuff would have been great crack. I know it was the same for us. I remember like, it never even felt for like whenever I was in any shit after school. It never even felt like this is to help my parents get a rest because we lived
Yeah,
in the countryside. There was nothing near us, so it was a half-hour drive anywhere.
yeah.
So like they would drive us there, drop us off, and then just have to come back
I
by the
think
time we got home. You know what I mean?
I think my mum and dad were trying to tell me things because I was involved in every club you could imagine. Like
Right.
at one point they had me going to the UVS on Saturday mornings.
I was going there too, but just I was just delivering sandwiches.
Yeah.
It was part of a cross community effort.
Scouts, man, it's weird. I mean, that kind of, I feel like that's going to be way less popular now. Like that felt like an our generation thing where you did silly things like that, and
I couldn't see kids. Yeah,
you wore a stupid uniform and you weren't afraid to do all these games. And I just feel like nowadays it's like kids would be like, why would I do that? And it's just more like gaming and all that kind of thing.
yeah.
Like I think
I
we're the
think
last
anybody,
generation to play
anybody.
rounders.
Yeah, probably. I think because I remember, like, I don't know if this happened in your school. I remember in our primary school when I was in P6 or P7, they like banned us from running in the playground.
I was banned from running the play. Not just me, like everyone was banned from running the playground, and it was the stupidest thing
It
because
was so stupid. Like,
running in the playground was your release back then. So you
yeah,
just had like kids power walking with veins in their forehead. Like it wasn't good.
you'd rattle a sandwich and then go out and run for half an hour. And then by
Yeah,
the time you go back in the class, you're like, right, let's do long division. Whereas,
like who was hurting themselves from falling
see,
by
I'm
running?
wondering, was it claim culture? Was there tons of people that were fucking claiming against schools and their kids fell?
Maybe. Did you ever
That's
Mitch
what I
off
thought it was.
school? Did you ever go on the beak?
Yeah, only like when obviously like when it was I probably didn't have the balls to do it until like I could legally vote. Do you know what I mean? Like to that point when you're a fully grown man in a uniform, like, all right, sir,
Yeah.
you were some shit on Saturday night, sir.
I mean, that's another weird thing about school is the fact that you're dressed as miniature businessmen.
Aye,
You know, you're dressed in like a shirt, tie, and blazer. Like I definitely found that when I went to tech after fifth year in school, it was way easier for me to learn and I was way more relaxed and less
aye.
like stuffy because I was wearing my own clothes. It's
I used to
weird.
hate
It is
like
weird that from the age of 12 you're wearing a suit every day.
totally. And I don't like our school was really strict because the school I went to was. I never thought it was rough because like it's one of those things you're just used to it. But they were obviously trying to make this big sort of push to be like we need to change our reputation here. So like we couldn't if it was a pissing down or snowing, we couldn't bring a jacket that wasn't school uniform in the school.
Yeah, I know. Same.
But also nobody could afford like the school jacket. So you
Yeah,
just had all of us in our blazers just fucking soaking.
yeah, yep. There was a
Like
weird
and then
rule as
going in, and
well.
then just
I mean, there was weird rules like you weren't allowed to go home in your after PE, you couldn't just go home in your PE kit. If you had PE last period, you had to change back
aye,
into your school kit. I mean, all that kind of thing is yeah, it's definitely weird. But school was the best thing is like this kind of weather whenever you were at school and whenever the teacher would drop the famous sentence, "We're just gonna have class outside today." I don't know if you ever had that, but that was the best
no,
day.
definitely. And I don't mean to make this racial, but that
Yes.
I don't think a Catholic school in the land has ever been like, let's go outside today.
Yeah,
Because
true.
if we're outside, there's no pictures of Jesus to be all fucking.
Yeah,
I know what you're doing with that spoon.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Although at the same time, we did the odd one where like the teacher would go, right, I'm going to photocopy here for an hour and a half, and then we'd
Yeah.
just fuck off.
As soon as you hear the sentence, get on with your own work, anything goes.
Ah, what a day.
Were you well behaved in school? You a good boy?
I think yeah, it was pretty. I was decent. Like I think teachers liked me and stuff, and even like I think even any time wherever if we played pranks or anything, and again that was like I didn't really do anything fucked up until it was lower sixth, and by that stage the teachers were going good one, and I'm like thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
like
What were you up to? Like, what did you push the envelope on the furthest whenever you were in school?
I think like I'm trying to think there was a time where like our entire class got detention for we were shooting like elastic band. We used to get a wee bit of paper and like,
Yeah,
but we started a full blown like terrorist cell,
right.
and it all came to a head. I think somebody actually got their like eyes split open a wee bit, and then someone else shot a teacher accidentally in the tit,
Yeah, not ideal.
and it was one of those like empty your pockets, and I had the most elastic bands because I was like stealing them off a teacher's desk and shit, which was nothing. And then I think there was one time I know like whenever we were leaving school, we were 18, we got a first year, and me and tied him to a chair, just left him to the principal's office. Like, which I know is a big leap from
It
firing
is.
bits of paper to, we abducted an 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, I
But at
mean,
the same time, the wee bit, like the wee kid in question was
he
like, he
loved
was
it.
a bit. No, that's the thing, because he was like, because I went to a comprehensive school, so you had like like sort of smart kids all the way down to just like lunatics that didn't give a fuck, like smoking inside.
Yeah.
And we were like, here. Do you know what I mean? We were like, mate, like what class are you going to? And he was like, oh, double maths with such and such. And we were like, do you want out of it?
I think the one that stands out that I regret is whenever I was in history, we had a student teacher, and I only feel sympathy really. I can identify now with student teachers because it's a bit sometimes like when you do stand up in front of a rowdy crowd and you
Aye.
go in there and it's tough. It's like a corporate gig sometimes. But I remember it was a young girl in teaching. She came into our history class, all boys school, right, which is always going to be intimidating kind of to go into. And she was talking about a guy in history called, I think it was Andrew Bonner Law. And anytime she said the word Bonner Law, I went boing, right? And that's like, but I was making it seem like it might not have been me, you know what I mean? I was like
Aye.
doing it kind of like that, and it went on the whole lesson, and she couldn't finish the lesson. And even at the time, as soon as I realized, I should have known, like, and I was obviously pushing for it. And as soon as that happened, I was like, I'm not going to do anything like that again.
Aye. I remember we had a student teacher once, and she made some like really silly joke about Lurgan, and then she tried to do like a posh accent joke, and then
She doing a
but
set?
no, it was one of those things. Yeah, she was trying to be good crack, whatever. And then I wanted to say something about like, because she came from Craigavon, and I wanted to make some joke about how like Craigavon was a dump compared to Lurgan or whatever. But too much time had passed.
Yeah.
Yes, do you remember when you said that thing about like that's real funny because obviously you're a tramp or whatever, and she fucking lost it. Like, like, how dare you? I was like, whoa. I remember once as well. There was I don't know what had happened in our school, but in our history class, do you know, obviously it's like fucking like drywall or like just fucking plaster walls.
Yes.
And somebody there was like for some reason there was two massive holes either side of a pillar, like a structural pillar. And a guy in our class called Pee Wee, the teacher had gone out and he
Hold
climbed
on.
into it
No, sorry. Why was he called Pee Wee?
because he was tiny, obviously. It's one of those like non-ironic nicknames. Do you know what I mean? But
Okay.
he climbed in. He climbed into like through one of the holes and then through the inside of the wall and came back out the other one. Right? Oh, we were like, oh, mate, do it again. And he climbed back in, and the teacher came in, and he just stayed in the wall. And it was one of those like everybody in the class was trying to be like, fucking stairs. Like, poor cunt was just fucking in a wall. Fucking covered in asbestos.
Just in a wall. Yeah, I like that a lot. There was
Just
a
sitting
guy
there.
in my primary school, like proper primary school, like P3. There was this guy called Gareth. I wish I could remember his surname. And he he just didn't come into class one day. And the principal in assembly was like, listen, Gareth, whatever, isn't going to be in for a couple of weeks. You might have heard, but he had a really terrible incident with a bin outside school. And this always stands out to me, or maybe like because time has gone on, I've remembered this differently. But I'm pretty sure there was a guy called Gareth, and I was in P3, who was playing on a wheelie bin outside school and fell back. A knife came out of the wheelie bin and cut part of his cheek off. Now, I don't know how that happened, but it's always stood out for me. And I remember being
Jesus.
traumatized at the time because I pictured just his whole cheek lying on the
Aye.
ground beside him.
Aye,
But I'd love to follow that up and find out a little bit more about that.
Gareth, if you're listening to this, let us know how you Let's your cheek. Yeah.
I fancied a girl in my primary school class. So I called my pet rabbit after her full name,
What was her full name?
Amy Harrison.
Amy Harrison.
I
See what she looks like.
I had a rabbit called Amy Harrison, which
Amy Harrison the rabbit.
would have been so creepy if she had somehow become my girlfriend and one day was like at my house and I was like, here, do you want to see my pet? I've called him after you.
I have named him after you, my lady.
Oh, that's lovely. You've called him Amy? No, your full name.
Imagine you end up getting married one day. You're like, Amy, and the rabbit came in. You're like, oh, shut up, man.
No,
Don't
we
tell
did.
her.
We had two rabbits we had to keep in a greenhouse and never actually have contact with because they had some sort of like infection that really sent them mad, and one ate the other one, and then the other one I think committed suicide.
Fucking
100%.
hell.
Yeah, I had goldfish.
There is a weird thing rabbits get.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. There's some weird. Yeah,
Plus, it was a hot summer that year, so I don't know if that
that'll
contributed
do
to
it.
it. But these guys fucking lost it. I think Amy Harrison lasted like a couple of months, and then that was it. Not the child, Amy
What
Harrison.
was the other
She's
rabbit?
still alive.
Alright. She's
What
still
do you
alive.
say?
What was the other rabbit called?
I mean, they're not linked in any way, but the other, no, they're not linked in any way at all. But the other one was called David Beckham.
Uh-huh.
So no, I was trying to think of a '90s heartthrob there and really struggled. Who were big '90s
Piercy.
pinups? The other one was called Piercy from Dawson's Creek.
So lame.
Oh fuck! I love Piercy. I'll try and get him on the podcast. Producer Dan, please make a note, and we'll try and get Piercy.
I make that happen. I loved him in the Mighty Ducks. He was fucking brilliant.
That's right. He was in the Mighty Ducks as well. Fucking Mighty Ducks were great. Like, Mick, let me just throw this out there. They don't make films like that anymore.
They really don't. Like, I haven't.
Mighty
Obviously,
Ducks.
I'm in my 30s now, so it's different. But when the Mighty Ducks came out, everybody I knew was playing roller hockey.
And this brings us into The Last Dance, which is something you and I are both big into. But I played basketball whenever I was in school, and we had a really good school team, and we played in one tournament and won it against loads of schools. This is like second year against loads of schools that have had basketball teams for years. So our school like stopped basketball, we got told, because the team was good and they didn't want to take away from rugby. So I looked at that Chicago Bulls team and thought that's what could have been for us in terms of
You could the Last Dance.
The other schools in County Down, we could have been the Chicago Bulls
See,
of that time.
Because when we didn't have a basketball team, I think, because our school was just all about Gaelic and soccer. But I remember we played it once in PE, and I was because Teen Wolf, the movie like from the 80s, I fucking loved it. So I loved basketball when I was a kid. I remember once doing PE, and the teacher being like, because obviously we're all like I was on the bench because of a wee fat kid, but he was like, right, on you go, and I just fucking like blasted in, got up on, scored 3 points, and he was like, Micky Bartlett. So when I watched The Last Dance, I felt like, you know, the Russian guy or the Croatian dude?
Shit, yes, I know. I'm trying
Kukov is it Kuchov?
Kukov? I don't know. People will be going nuts watching this, being like, it's fucking whatever. But yeah.
That's who I would be in that story. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could come into your school and used to be all like, who's this fucking lanky Rusky or whatever? Is the Cold War not over? Or what? I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, I want the bouncy ball.
It's weird that we would have had those references as a kid, but I feel like a lot of your, even though there's a year in between us, a lot of your references I don't relate to. Like Teen Wolf, you're in Top Gun, like He-Man. Did you watch He-Man when you were younger?
The cartoon or the movie?
The cartoon.
No, I've seen the movie. Yeah.
I don't know. I just the Mighty Ducks we overlap on, but there's quite a lot. Like
I have just this weird thing of, and I don't know why. I just love like really shite action movies.
You love 80s nostalgia, like even your music. Like if you were on Desert Island Discs, it would just all be music from 80s movies.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like I was around at Anthony McGibbon from the Bonnevilles, who are like probably one of my favorite bands of all time. I was around his house having a few beers a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Oh, here, what music should we put on?" And I was like, "Mate, do you ever see Beverly Hills Cop 1? Patti LaBelle, Stir It Up, what a tune!" And he was like,
yeah.
"It's time to go home, Mick." Like,
yeah.
I'm just a huge fan of it. I don't know why I like it so much, because it is crap, like it's shit. But there's something about the not give a fuckery of the of 80s movies.
That's what I like about 90s fashion is that kind of thing of like there was nothing that was considered too loud or like, you know what I mean? It was just whatever shade of a luminous color you want, you can wear it and you can team it up with, you can have frosted tips. And like back then it was almost like there was no such, like you could try and get it wrong and nobody really cared. Whereas now we wear such plain clothes mainly because of social media, because people like, if you wore something a bit rare, like me in the jacket that I wore for the previously BBC archive show, the cream, as people have called it, milkman's denim jacket.
I have that same denim jacket in black, so I actually think it's quite a good look.
Right. I feel like you and I need to wear those together
Yeah.
and bring back our sketch.
Like an 80s cop show.
Yes. I think we can make a very good old like spoof 80s cop show.
I would be all over that. Like when I saw you guys making Belfast Blues, I was like, fuck, I want to do that.
Let's do something like that.
Sliding over car bonnets, all that sort of shit.
After lockdown. Well, have you like a project in mind or anything, or like some video thing you'd like to do, whatever, that you've always been thinking about, and now you're in lockdown, you're like, why have I not done that before? And now you're thinking about doing it?
No, weirdly, because there's been a few times I think whenever we started early on, I was like, oh, this would be a great video. Like we made a couple of fucking silly ones together and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I just got to the point where I'm like, I just had to admit that I'm not very good at it. I don't have the attention span to actually sit down and write them. And I think that I'll also talk myself out of things pretty quickly, which is why I like stand-up, because it's pretty immediate. I can just be like, right, I'm just going to get up and do this now.
Do you know what was really funny? The day me and you decided to just shoot some videos, I had an old Sony DLR camera, I can't even, mini DV camera, and you and me went to Botanic Gardens and just started messing about with the camera. And do you remember we got locked in?
We got locked in the gardens. I was going to say that.
And we filmed that, and God, I wish I had that footage somewhere, because that was fun. And we did. Do you remember we did like Danny Dyer's Deadliest Men?
That was still. I still think that's one of the funniest things.
You were. I wonder.
I mean, it hasn't aged well. It's one of those things where, like, if you look at it now, you're like, that's fucking. So I basically was like, I mean, I was a traveler.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
It's kind of because even like, but
I mean,
point where I like spat, because and you as Danny Dyer tried to spit and you spat directly in my shoe. Do you remember that?
The opening thing was you were playing a character called Pascal, who and the opening thing you're doing is, in your own words, taking a shit in a tire. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't think it's anywhere on the internet anymore, which is such a shame.
Did we do something else once as well, though, where they're like, I have a memory of me and you filming something where, like, I'm like flicking a cigarette in slow motion, and I don't know what it was for. In an underpass somewhere.
Yes, we did a thing that day as well. We just filmed like a load of sketches, and that day it was like, if I get this right, we made a trailer for a fake film, and the song under it was the Pet Shop Boys' "It's a Sin."
Yes.
It was about like the making of a gangster film or something. And what I hate is, like, about maybe 10 years ago when we did that, they were probably online for a while, and then we were probably like, God, like, cringe at this and all, and probably like deleted it like you do with old stand-up clips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's so annoying now with hindsight, because you'd be like, why would I ever have deleted that? Like,
yeah, it's one of those things you look back and going, if we, like, with the like knowledge we all have now, like computers and shit, like, we could make that.
Oh God, yeah.
And it would be great.
Or like, how funny would it be for the people who like your stuff if you just put out this sketch you made 12 years ago and you're like, feel free to take the piss out of me for this. Like, look at this.
Somewhere there's footage somewhere of my first ever gig. And I remember trying to show Colin Geddes it, and within the first 30 seconds he was like, oh, turn it off, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, because the first time I got heckled within 3 seconds, and you can just see me shit myself. Like,
I remember the first time I saw you was in Lurgan at a gig, and I think you weren't supposed to be on Classic Mick, but then you were on.
Aye.
And I remember you were wearing, I think it was yellow trainers, and I had not seen you before, and like none of us would have known about each other because it wasn't a social media time really.
Yeah.
So you didn't know, like, there's people we know about, have heard about, but we've never seen live. People that even I've known for years, I've never actually caught their act live.
Yeah.
And vice versa probably. And I remember seeing you. We were the only ones our age on the lineup, and I was like, "Fuck, he's good." I remember being like, "He's probably been doing this. He's been doing this for a long time," and you hadn't, and that made me upset that you hadn't been doing it for that long.
I think I was lucky, like, because of doing a drama degree and stuff. By the time, because I'd done like with performing arts degrees, there's always going to be some weirdo who makes you do like really dark shit in a play because they're mental.
Right.
So from doing really fucking weird things on stage with cunts like that, doing stand up for me was like, this is a piece of like, do the kind of thing like if you're doing a serious play, you might have to make somebody cry, and that's way harder than just making somebody laugh.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. Well,
So
I don't know what you mean because I don't have that background, but I can see how much of a benefit that would be
yeah,
to starting off doing stand up.
I think as well, like because even like gigs in Lurgan, I was always smashing them because there was just something about like when you're culty and you're in that like you've got all the local references, whatever, you can just fucking like bluff your way through it.
What sort of that leads me
Like, so I
to
can't remember the first time I ever saw you do stand up. I'm trying to think.
first see at that gig you arrived late. I don't know how I remember this gig out of all gigs, but you arrived late with a couple of friends and then you did a set. First gig we would have done together. I don't know. I remember like back then it wasn't like now where you just kind of like hang out. Comedians like just sort
Yeah,
of hang out and shoot the shit a bit. Back then it was more like also we were young, so we didn't know the etiquette of like go up and introduce yourself to the other comedians. We were all just like shy, weird, nervous people.
yeah,
So
and
you
also
probably
like the gigs we were doing back then, because you think of like the amount of weirdos that were hanging around doing it that aren't doing it anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people where you're like, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Plus it was a lot of like back then we didn't know how to run comedy nights and promoters definitely didn't, and we hadn't learned to just tell them like here this is the best way it should run, like have one break and then let's so back then do you remember comedy nights would have had 4 breaks, 16 acts on and everybody doing 20
I
minutes so you came and went, you showed up with whoever you were driving up with and then you kind of just stayed chatting to them and then left. So we probably didn't start like becoming friends for way after we've been doing stand-up together.
yeah,
But
it might have been like it must have been ever like well before LOL, but like I remember us trying to do like a panel show together at one point. Do you remember?
yeah, so that I was chatting about that in some recently where it was called the Gaff. We were chatting. I was like, why don't we just do a panel show? Because
Yeah,
I think the Blame Game was hadn't been going for that long, and we were obviously years away from being asked to do anything like that. So I was like, let's try and make something happen ourselves. So we put together like a couple of teams, and we just did like a live, not even recording of it. It wasn't recorded, which is a shame because it would have been good.
it was
But
fucking funny.
there was like 8
I
of us,
mean,
and it was great.
yeah, but I always remember that was the time because you were hosting it and you had a. Do you remember you had a Mo Mullen joke in it and you didn't. You'd forgotten she died.
Yeah, one of the questions was we surveyed 50 people, and it was can't remember what the question was. Who would you rather kiss or whatever? Someone or Mo Mullen, and they said Mo Mullen, and then Jackie Hamilton, who was working for BBC at the time, said to me after, he's like, "It was a good night, I really enjoyed it, but you need to kind of like make sure people believe your questions." So I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's just Mo Mullen is very much dead." I was like, "Ah, right, good point."
No, because we were still doing it. I think it was somebody from the audience that said Mo Mullen's dead because
Ah.
I remember looking at you and you went, I completely forgot she was dead, and I was howling because I was like, I didn't know she was dead either. Like,
Right. That's it. I mean, it was great, and it was probably like we didn't need the probably we didn't do any more because BBC didn't say give us 100 episodes of that. We
yeah,
we should have just started doing that as like a
that's
regular live
again
thing.
that was before podcasts and stuff as well. Where you're like, we could have
Yeah,
just done that,
but I
you
think
know,
even
as a
now,
live thing every week.
like panel shows aren't as popular on TV as they were. Like obviously you still have Blame Game, but loads
Yeah,
of others that we've worked on have come and went. Blame Game's the one that's like stayed popular, but we could do something like that. There's that would
yeah.
be
I mean, it's that thing now because we've all got an audience now as well. It's kind of there's stuff where you're going like when we were doing that before, there were great ideas, but nobody was turning up, so you've no way to actually
yeah,
verify whether or not it was funny.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it's just finding like a little bit of an angle for it, and then that's it. Because
Yeah.
we've all been
Because
doing it
even then,
long
I
enough,
think
like we can
anytime
make it
we
funny.
thought of panel shows, we were always thinking of like what the set would be like as opposed to what the show would be like.
Exactly, the look
You
of
know
it
what I
and
mean?
all that kind of thing. And back then, I was probably like, I probably wanted to be a like traditional TV presenter as well. Like I don't think I got probably better at stand up until I realized that was not my thing. You
Yeah.
know, I remember wearing a shirt, tie, and blazer for that, and looking back on it, I'm like, no.
I mean, but everybody, like, I mean, I fucking wore a waistcoat for 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of one joke at the start. Like,
It takes you like but like you said, but that's an extension of you saying you think about a panel show, you think about the way it looks. That's probably
Yeah.
the same with our stand-up. You're probably being like, what should I be wearing for this? And you get to this age and you're like, it really doesn't matter. Just wear what you
Totally.
wear.
The only thing because even like with me sort of going bald and shaving my head and stuff now, I've been like, should I buy fucking a hat or something so I don't look as much of a psycho when I'm trying to.
But
You
you
know,
don't
because
look like like if you shaved all your head down to the bone, you wouldn't look like an aggressive, angry guy.
I know it was just one of those things where I was thinking for like, like club gigs in England or whatever, where no one really knows you. I'm like, if I come out at like 16 stone, tattoos and bald,
Mick, I'm the
I don't
same,
want to
mate.
immediately be making jokes about that. You know what I mean?
I'm the
I
same.
know,
I'm
man.
worried when I work out.
Sexy wee bitch.
When I walk out, people are like, "Fuck me, he's going to talk about fucking lads, and all that kind of thing," you know.
What's this? What's this badass going to say?
Well, it's like even up until like I watched the Waterfront show back of
Mhm.
me last year, and I'm wearing a shirt and jeans and like nice shoes in it, and even then I'm going, that's not me. That's not the way I
Aye.
dress. I don't dress like that, so it's like I think there is a little bit of an element of okay, it's a big occasion, so you're sort of like almost like paying respect to the venue or the occasion or something.
Yeah.
But then people just would want you to be as comfortable as possible. So from now on, for me, even at the likes of that, it'll be t-shirt,
It's
like
whatever.
nice
Yeah.
t-shirt, jeans, and smart enough trainers. Like
Yeah. I went through a phase. I say I went through it. I was definitely for the last 4 or 5 years. I've done this thing where like, and I don't know if it's a superstition thing, where I'll get a shirt or like a new jacket or whatever, wear it on stage, and then go right. That's the Fringe uniform, right?
I do it.
And then I'll spend the course of a year, and I did it. I've done it because I was going to wear it was denim jacket, like a top like this, jeans, and then do you remember I bought all those fucking
Nike
like those
ID shoes.
Nikes,
You got
Nike ID
customized
shoes?
Nike
Yeah,
shoes, yes.
I think
Like
there's a pair.
some sort of Middle Eastern chic.
I was going for like a comedy Michael Jordan kind of thing, but I don't know why in my head I go right. That's like putting that on. You're trying to make your brain go right. Fucking
You're going to work.
business time. And then what happens every year is I get to the Fringe on the first day. I go, it's far too hot to wear all these clothes,
Yeah,
and I go
yeah,
back
yeah.
to wearing a black t-shirt.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Like I think 3 years ago when I was doing Ulster Hall, I saw this shirt I really liked it in All Saints, and it was on like on a mannequin.
Uh-huh.
So I went, that would look really good on me. You know when like you go into a sports shop and some mannequin has massive pecs and big biceps, and you go, that will look like that on
Yes,
me,
well,
and
look,
then you put it
yeah,
on, you go, oh no, it doesn't work like that. So I saw this top and I didn't buy it. And then about a month before the Waterfront show, I was like, I have to have it. So I
aye.
phoned All Saints in Belfast. They didn't sell it anymore. So I like emailed the HQ, and then they phoned me, some random guy in the office, and he's like, we don't really sell it in any shops. And they weren't just doing this like for me because, I'm one of the top
Shane
acts
fucking Todd.
in my county, in my age group. But this was they would have done this for what me and you call normal people.
Aye,
And
for the Muggles.
yeah, for them, a muggle could also get this, and that really pissed me off. But the guy was like, I can go down to the factory and see if we can get you, and then we'll work out a price. In the end, I was like, this was meant to be. This guy's doing me a favor. He goes down. They sold me it for like not as dear as it was on sale. I got it. Didn't take it out of the thing. Just brought it to the Ulster Hall. Went
Aye,
backstage, put it on. Felt like the gods, the stars were aligning as I buttoned up every button. I was like, it's a bit of a looser material than I thought, but that's okay. And then when I walked out to show like Dave and Aaron Butler and a couple others, they all just burst into hysterical laughter and were like, that's a girl, that's a girl's blouse. They're like, that's a girl's blouse. Like, why are you wearing that? Like, it looks weird, and everyone
and
in the
if
audience
if
is going to
Aaron
go, why is
Butler
he
if
wearing it?
Aaron Butler laughs at your clothes,
If Aaron Butler
if
looks at you and
Butler,
goes, I don't know, it's a little bit out there.
the man who definitely has, I think, a full like matching dragon tracksuit.
He has a dragon tracksuit, school trousers, and a Kerry GAA keeper top.
Yeah,
That's his wardrobe. But
that's his
yeah,
vibe.
when I saw him and Dave passing fashion advice to me in a negative way, I was like, I need to not wear this. And I still have the shirt, and I'm going to wear it for something. I just don't know what it is.
Aye,
maybe.
I know that's because I bought that. Like I think I've talked about this before. I bought like a pork pie hat,
Yes.
and I was like, I'm gonna. I must have been drunk, but I got it and I put it on. I was like, this isn't actually. It's not as bad as like it's one of those things where I was going. I would never wear it like just out,
Yes.
and I was like, it might work for the Ulster Hall. I'm thinking, okay, and then I've started going through this thing of like, right, I'll try wearing it at Lavery's and see how I get on, and I've never felt more vulnerable in my life. So I'm just
I know
not doing it.
exactly what you mean.
I'm just not doing it. I'm keeping it. I'm just not
Yeah.
fucking.
Well, you wear that, and I'll wear this shirt to something in the future. Maybe the first gig back. Let's just say if I wore this shirt to Pride, a few people would be saying, "Honey, no, honey, no."
All right.
No.
See, if I wore this hat to Pride, they would think an orange man was taking over the march.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Me and Butler have said that, like, down the line, sometime in stand up, we're gonna buy each other an outfit for going on stage with, but you can't look at yourself in it until you go on.
Aye.
I think that'd be enjoyable.
That's a great shot.
Whenever we went away, he, like, for his 30th wanted, like, some mates to go to Tenerife, and me and Dave went, and a couple others, and I was like, let's, you know, the way Butler's like not anti-marriage, but he said he's never going to get married. So I was like, in a way, we're going to treat this like your stag do. So I was like, I want us to buy you an item of clothing that you have to wear out today. We're just like going to the water park or something, and we went to, you know, like sort of tat shops on holiday that do like towels, t-shirts, gifts, that kind of thing. I bought him a t-shirt.
Pussy Patrol, all that sort of shit.
Yeah, we bought it. That would have been way better than what we bought him, which was a t-shirt. I would have been so gutted to wear this. It was a t-shirt that had like a buffering bar on it, you know, like a percentage thing, like a battery thing.
Yeah.
And it said 100% and a big red battery, and at the top it just said fart loading ... It was such a weird t-shirt for a 30-year-old guy to wear, and he had to wear it all day, and he was so uncomfortable in it, which I really enjoyed. Fart loading. I mean, it's such a weird t-shirt.
Just him doing his wee dances.
You'll
slippy hips going up.
You'll like this. For this previously series that we're sort of like shooting in lockdown, like now, BBC were like would really like you to wear sort of smarter clothes for this, and I was like, no,
I hate when they do that.
I said, no, it's not me. I was like, that's not me. That's not what I'm all about. The people know I'm a casual dress guy.
I'm a socialist.
And in the pilot, I was not wearing like smart clothes, so I'm not going to wear it now. And then they brought on a stylist for the show, and she showed me some jackets, and I went, yes, I will wear those. Because honestly, babe, 10 out of 10, very nice fit.
That's so me.
And I'm able to wear a t-shirt under it. So I was like, oh yes, for sure, I'll wear that. That's cute.
But see, whenever we were on fucking Find Me the Funny, so what's that, 11 years ago?
Yeah.
They did something, they brought in this fashion, like this stylist. I think it was mainly for like the publicity photo, the ones that were going to Edinburgh.
I remember all your publicity photos.
Yeah, right. Now,
because Twitter had just come out, and you all had them as your profile pictures.
Yeah, because it was the first time I'd ever have a professional. It's actually hanging up my ma's living room, because I've never had like a fucking professional photo shoot before. But the stupidest things, they had us in all these like fucking ridiculous clothes, like just the stupidest shit. And the guy tried to put me in this like short sleeve, like Bermuda shirt with like a straw hat, and I was like, man, I'm not fucking wearing this. I was like, no way am I wearing this. So he came out, and the guy Curtis Matthews, who was like the fucking
comedy expert.
Yeah, the comedy expert, like the Simon
Cowell. Nobody had heard of.
Yeah, exactly. They also, I think they found that he was a bit of a fraud afterwards. But we came out, and he was like, so I basically refused to wear the thing they'd like given me, and then put on a shirt that I had. And he was like, I hate this thing, man. It's a joke. Like, you're in a cocktail dress, you're wearing a stupid hat. Mickey's wearing that horrible shirt. And I'm like, this is my shirt. And I look
they
fucking
got Mickey in this fucking piece of shit.
This fucking look at you look like a fucking mook. And I'm like, this is mine. Like,
they've got this stupid wig on Mickey's fucking head. No, it's not.
That's why. Look, why are you wearing that fucking stupid ginger beard, you fucking leprechaun? Like, hey Mick, why'd you come out here wearing fake tits?
Mick, take all that stupid fucking gear off. Oh, that was quick. It didn't do anything. It didn't do anything, Curtis.
That was fucking horrible. I remember there was another one because there's been a few times where like on BBC, so they've tried to get me to wear like fucking TV style clothes.
Yeah.
And there was a night, I was the pilot for Monumental, I think. And they were like, listen, can you please put a jacket on? Like, wear a jacket, but like a t-shirt and jeans, like a kind of trendy. And I was like, right, I'll try. And the only jacket I had was like from a suit that didn't fit because I'd started putting this weight on. And there's a photo somewhere, and it's like me, fucking Aisling B's in it, Adam Hills. But I swear to God, I look like an actual like big toddler.
Right. I'd be very keen to see
because the jacket didn't. It's on my Facebook. I'll hunt it out. It's the most fucking. Like I don't take photos well anyway, but it's the worst I've ever looked in my fucking life. I remember like because I've no neck, like when I'm sitting on the desk, it's just shoulder pads up to my ears, and there's often somebody having to like press the jacket and then I'd move again. Just horrible. That's why I don't do TV anymore. Change your mind. That's why I'm just sticking slowly to the live.
Yeah. Is that a vape pen or a thermometer or what have you got?
It's a pair of tweezers. I was doing my eyebrows earlier.
Fair. I actually did mine a couple of days ago as well. I do
good.
I do get a good monobrow, like, which is weird because you wouldn't expect that from me. But
see, I'm at that point now. I have to like take a beard trimmer to the side of them here.
Oh, it's gonna grow back way quicker.
So I've got like old man culty eyebrows.
Yeah, but no, I think you look very healthy.
I feel it. I feel healthier. It's yoga, man. Do you mean?
Yeah, you were sort of saying on the live podcast that yoga's kind of changed your life and you're thinking a lot differently and you really feel like you're really evolving spiritually as a person. And you've done how many times you've done now? 4?
5.
You've done 5 sessions now. So
5 sessions.
Do you feel like enlightened? Like, do you feel?
No, see, it's not that kind of yoga. It's DDP yoga. So it's again, big 80s guy was like, do you remember like Diamond Dallas Page?
Diamond Dallas Page, a wrestler. Yeah.
So like he's constantly going, "Hulk it up, brother," and I'm like, "Fuck, I love this." But it's great. Cause actually, Dave was texting about it yesterday, so I think Dave's gonna start doing it. See me and Dave back at the comedy club is doing the splits across 2 chairs. Like, funny thing about airplane food, am I right, guys?
I mean, I would definitely enjoy the visual side of that, of you and Dave doing like a bit of a hot yoga session together.
Yeah, and it would be hot.
It would
be me and Dave.
It would be hot.
Tits falling out of t-shirts like right in center.
What's your plan? We'll finish up with this, like getting back into stand-up. Like, what's your ideal scenario for? Obviously, everything isn't just going to open again, but like, what way do you want to work? Like, would you be happy to do like the drive-through comedy and then the social distance crowds and sort of work it back up, or would you prefer to just wait until stand-up is closer to normal?
I would do anything sort of in the live aspect of it at this point. Like because I still haven't moved my Ulster Hall, so I'm hoping that the gamble's kind of paid off. And
what's your date?
17th of October.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at pubs open and stuff and going, oh, maybe this might be all right. So ideally for me it would be like at least in a comedy, like at least even like the Black Box or something where you can spread people out.
Yeah.
So actually start putting the hour together that should have been.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for it as well. Like there is venues I'm thinking of where, and Limelight 1 is another one where, low ceiling, good visibility stage, and even if people are spread out, it's still gonna feel good.
Yeah.
As opposed to like somewhere with a big massive roof, if people are spread out, it's not gonna feel the same.
Exactly, and I think as well. I mean, there's a good chance that some of the venues are gonna struggle to stay open when this is over, so it might be good for us to go, right, let's do a gig to fucking throw money in.
Yeah.
Or, might need a bit of help.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's not commit to anything though, because we need the money. So fuck that.
1,000%. Meg, I think we've done enough for charity in the last year.
We have done enough.
We can put our feet up and totally coast. And I think you and I can take from truck road boxes.
I think I've been doing that anyway.
Yeah. Just a little shake. Just a little shake, and that's it.
Yeah, just only the silver coins, none of the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't take the pounds out, like.
We'll have to get the charity squad show back for some NHS shows.
Charity basketball game, man. Let's do one of those.
Mick, that's a great idea. That's a really, really good idea.
Because I wanted to do a charity boxing thing and nobody was up for it. All right, let's do charity basketball then, because none of us can do that either. So
I mean,
You know what I mean?
who do you want in your team, basically? Like, who are you sort of seeing as, like, as baller
I
material?
reckon I would take the young blood Tagliatelle Spaghetti
William
because I
Hamilton?
think he played basketball. No, but, spaghetti bolognese. What do you call
Vittorio?
him? I just got why you said that. Yeah, I think he actually played basketball in school, so he might be good.
Right. So
Because
you've
I'm thinking
got,
if you played basketball, you'd have to be on his team or like on another team. You know what I mean?
so so you're picking him?
Well, I'm thinking like, well, no, I would pick you. Obviously, I want you on my team. Obviously.
I think Geddes might have a bit in the locker when it comes to basketball.
Well, yeah, of course he's six
I
foot
mean,
six, and
I
he's
mean, he's the white Shaq.
yeah, he's that's another thing because I got wee hands, so I can't like grab a basketball. I have to like,
You're a point guard.
thank you.
You're you're a point guard. I think Sean Haggerty would have a little bit on the court too.
Tigers would be, yeah, he'd be great. I'm
Think
trying to think of who else. Like, it's weird to be going like, who's the fit comedian?
oh,
Uh,
Dave, could see Dave sort of like, he's played rugby before. He's going to know a little bit
yeah,
about that. Yeah, I think we could get a good. How many How many people are in each team? Like five on five.
I think it's five, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be good. Let's yeah
I've been dying to like just go to like Ormo Park with a bunch of the lads. I'm like, right, because I think if we're allowed six people, we can get six of us. Just go up with the ball. Just let's
see.
kick over.
I'd have to sanitize it every time it came back to me.
Then we'll just not give it to you.
Yeah, true.
You can just shout things like "usins."
Yeah. Did I tell you I bought a full size net
Yeah, you
on
showed me it.
Argos? Yeah, so literally like football training at like 10:30 on Saturday morning. One of the lads was like, I said, "Oh, I got bought a basketball for my birthday, but I don't have a net." And one of the guys was like, "Just order one online." Argos. It was there at 2 o'clock, and I've just been raining three
I would see
since.
that's the thing. I was going to do that myself, but again, because I'm living with my folks, they're like, "Where are you going to keep it?" I'm like, "It's not a fucking puppy.
Yeah, you're gonna take it out for walks.
I'm not picking up after it."
Picking up because it's just raining shot after shot.
Just written nothing but net.
Yeah, we'll get some sort of basketball game on the go. That actually would be really good crack. For some reason, I can see Kieran
Yeah.
Bartlett being a real baller. I can see
Kieran, yeah,
Kieran having
yeah,
a real unconventional throw. Although, yes, I will say this: like you pointed out, the Bartletts have very small hands,
very wee hands.
and
But
Kieran's are the
I
smallest.
reckon Kieran's are the smallest. I reckon Kieran probably has some sort of rage-induced accuracy.
Yep.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he could stand the other end of the court and just fucking lob it. 3 points, boom, 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get that organized thing. It'd be great. I think it'd be super cute to see us all in vests as well.
Yeah, it would be nice. I look great in the way. I've got the shoulders for it.
I mean, what we're doing is totally contradicting ourselves. And earlier we were like, you do something, but the first thing you think of, like, how is it going to look? You and I have organized a basketball match, and we're going to spend 95% of the time talking about the cut of vest and
I know.
what the material it should be.
But I bought my Bulls jersey after.
Let me see. Nice, because I ordered the red one. Who did you get in the back?
Jordan, obviously.
Oh, I got a Rodman on mine, but it hasn't
Oh,
arrived
it
yet.
isn't.
And I got a pair of
Because that
shorts.
was I think that was just the cheapest one on Amazon. And also it's weird whenever you buy a basketball top, which is it's an XL, and on me it does not look like it's like, even though that's a top for tall people,
See, I got
I still look like I'm on my holidays in Santa Ponsa. Like, he's coming down the fucking bar, eh, boys?
I'm moonwalking at 8.
Come on down the fuck, yeah. Susie's got your number.
I just have you and Santa Ponza moonwalking in my head, and there's nowhere I'd rather be right now in this lockdown than Santa Ponza with you, having a couple of ciders and watching you moonwalk up and down the stage. It's just finally you do
Mate,
a
knowing my
podcast.
luck, it's when I'd be moonwalking inside. I was going to say, no, my luck, I'd be moonwalking in Santa Ponza and Pompeii would explode. I'd be like, fucking.
You frozen with one hand on your dick and a white glove just up in the air.
A ball that drops.
Before we go, you do a podcast with Keezy, with Connor Keys, Deck Chair and Yums, which is great. I think it's the only themed local podcast. We all just kind of ramble on and have a laugh, and you do that, but you also have like a little bit of a theme for it, which is like conspiracy theories, and it's kind of topical as well. It's probably honestly where I get most of my news from at the minute, so it's a lot of responsibility that you dictate the news to me.
I know, man. I know that's and it's not even me. It's Casey because because initially we only started that just because we were like we should just do a podcast, and it started as right. We'll do something that's like news based, so we can hopefully be able to like generate material for stand up.
Yeah.
And then lockdown happened, and it was just fucking straight away tinfoil hat. Who did it? Like,
Yeah.
So it's getting weird.
Is it getting weirder? Like, are you just going down like big rabbit holes? And also, what kind of messages are you getting, Guy? Because I imagine there's some pretty weird inbox messages coming from listeners.
To be honest, it's not that weird because basically the way we've done it now is we kind of do like just a standard what's going on in the news this week.
Yeah.
And then our Patreon is the one where it's a bit more sort of in depth.
Right.
But what has been weird about it is that we've had a few people that like seem to work in quite important jobs going, oh yeah, people don't know about this, and we're like we had a guy message us who's he works as like a financial consultant. That's like a loose term for his job.
Right.
And he sent us a message, and Connor told me about it, and I was like fully like, you know, like in a movie, I was like, mate, we've stumbled on something here. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to do this. Like,
oh shit.
So there's some interesting things coming out of it. But
has it made you more like skeptical about things and like?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Are you a little bit more paranoid now?
Not necessarily paranoid. It's just kind of like I think I've always been a wee bit. Nah, it doesn't make sense. Because I think like when you grew up here, obviously everything that happened with the Troubles, and then like when you like, I don't know if you watched Spotlight, the 9-parter, and then you go, oh, this was all fucking lies, and people literally fucking killed each other over it. And then you take that same scenario and put it in anywhere in the world, and you're like, this is all money. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that just like everything that's gone on over the last year, you do start to go, why this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about the podcast is it looks at all that kind of stuff, but then it is also funny as well. It is two mates just having a good laugh. So
yeah.
What day of the week does that come out?
Usually comes out on Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, Deck Chair and Yums, and you get that everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that kind of business. I'm just going to say this before I let you go. Speaking of like conspiracies, and there's something about this Epstein thing that just doesn't sit right with me. I think there's more to it. I think there's more to it. I'm just saying, I think there's more to it, and let's just leave it there. Because I don't want to be the first one to open up this can of worms.
Yeah. You should say right now as well, neither one of us feels suicidal. That's something that you want to say.
JFK?
When you mention Epstein, you just want to make sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In case you get whacked.
Yeah. And I also think I can't believe it's not butter.
Mate, here's the worst thing. You can believe that. See, if you look at it, if you really examine it, it is butter.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the sort of thing
they're telling you it's not butter. They're telling you it's not butter.
No, we're going to have to leave it there. Mick, thanks a lot, Mick.
No, listen to me.
Mick,
don't cut me off.
Mick, sorry, 1 second. I'm sorry, man. I'm just going to have to bring you out there because you've just absolutely lost a run of yourself. And I've tried to bring you out and it hasn't worked. But I'm going to say thanks and I'm going to remove you because, I just don't want us getting in trouble on this podcast, okay? Thanks, Mick.
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it. Whoa. Just before that sort of kicked off there, I don't want any butter enthusiasts getting in touch with us, and I just don't want to start something. But thanks a lot to man Micky Bartlett. That was so much fun. What a guy. And do check out Micky and Connor's podcast because it is very, very funny. Before we go, I'm going to plug the Patreon one more time, which is patreon.com/teawithmepodcast. And we're going to give a shout out to all the Patreons, all the sippers, all the verified sippers. Let me just see who we've got here. I'm going to roll call everybody. And also, we did the live podcast last week, and it was just the best crack. And I roasted some of the sippers as well, and everyone was kind of all right with it, which is great because, I've seen some pretty wild things. But we've got Aaron, Adam, Andrew, Andy, Arma Apples, Tommy, the less said the better, Ashley, Be Awesome. Don't know if that's a real name. BN, who is obviously the guy behind the BNBN biscuit. saga. Brian, Carol, Karis, Chloe, Christina, Connor, Cormac, Craig, Daniel, Dave, Donna, Emma, Gareth, Gary, Gemma, Haley, James, Gillian, Joan, Joanna, Johnny, Julie, Katrina, Kieran, Lauren's there, Leanne, Lisa sipping away, Marky, Mark, Martin, Matt, Matthew, Mick, Michael, Niall, Nikki, Noel, Orla. Come on, who else have we got here? Let's just keep it rolling. We've got Owen, Patrick, Paul, Peggy, Peter, Phelan, Rebus, Reese, Rory, Ruth, Ryan, Sarah, Shane, Terry, Victoria, Vincy, and of course, last but not least, guys, we've got Wormball. So thanks very much to all the Patreons. And if you want to get on there, it's patreon.com/teawithmepodcast. If you want to contact us for any reason, it's teawithmepodcast@gmail.com. Guys, thank you very much for listening to and watching the podcast. As always, I really appreciate it. If you enjoy it, you want to tell a friend about it and convert them to being a sipper, that would be really sweet. Thanks a lot. See you later. Peace out.